Hello guys, today something a bit unusual for me, which is a review video from two products that the company XVive sent me. Those two products are actually in-ear monitor systems. The first one is the T9, which is the in-ear monitor, and the second one is the wireless unit, which is the U45. So we're gonna see together how it works, the pros and cons, and the price range, which is very interesting, as you will see. So let's go. So let's start with the T9. So as I said, the T9 is the wireless system. So let's do a quick unboxing. Let's try and see if I'm good at it. So here the manual, we don't really need it. I've already tried it, so that's empty. So let's have a look at this. So it comes with a case, hard shell case, which is really cool because it's pretty small and very sturdy. Inside you have your in-ears. You have something to clean it up, very important. You have an adapter for 635 jack input, and you have your sets of in-ears. So it comes also with three different sizes of earpieces, which makes it very usable for anyone and very comfortable to use. I've chosen the smallest one because my ears are pretty small, and to be honest, it's very comfortable. I can keep them for quite a while when I'm working here in the studio with them. The sound is very precise, accurate, there's a good balance, and the range is going from 20 Hz to approximately 16 kilohertz. So the way I'm using them is basically for smaller kind of situations like clinics, showcase stuff. What I'm doing is I'm setting everything in the studio, so I'm working with this in the studio, so that I can already set up my sound the exact way as it will be in the live situation and have no surprises. Alright, now the U45. So the U45 is the wireless unit that goes with the T9. Inside the box we have the transmitter, the receiver, one jack 635 adapter from the XLR, if you don't have, and a great charging cable, which is a USB-A split into two USB-Cs, which can be very practical because you can charge and use your wireless system at the same time. So for example, let's say you forgot to charge before going to a gig, which is very professional, congrats to you, then no problem because you can still use it charging, no worries. By the way, the range is 30 meters, which is very good for such a unit. So it comes with XLR, and if needed, you have an adapter for 635 jack input here. Once it's locked, so no worries with that. Then we have the receiver. So the receiver is very small, very lightweight, but still you can feel it's pretty solid with its metal case around. Here you can put it on your belt, of course, and so that's basically it. In case you have done your homework properly and charged your unit before going on stage, which is good, you won't have any problem because it's the charge lasts for 5 hours. So unless you have a gig that lasts 10 hours, which is pretty rare, you won't have any problem. Alright, so now let's see a bit of use in context. Let's say I have a showcase to do and I want to do the setup of my in-ear monitor system beforehand. I'm going to do it in the studio because the setup I'm using for that kind of circumstances of situation, like a showcase, is exactly the same gear I'm using in the studio, which is my laptop, my Cubase, my sound card. And just so you know, the amps I'm going to use for that kind of situation is plugins. I'm using straight plugins from Cubase. So how to do that? First, I'm going to plug the transmitter into my sound card. I have to plug it into the headphones out, which is a jack output. So I will need to use the adapter, the 635 adapter. So plug in it. Then power on, so you know power on is here. And then I have to adapt the channel to the one on the receiver. So right now it's on channel 1, If I want to change, I just press this button. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on and so forth. And then back to 1, because that's the one we're going to use. Plug it into the sound card. Now the receiver. So to put it on, it's on the top here. And you can see there's a green light, which means that both the receiver and the transmitter are connected. If I want to change the channel, it's this button. So just the same principle as with the transmitter, I'm pressing until I'm reaching the same. And you can see if you're on the same, if it's green. Here I'm on channel 2, you see it's off. So just going back. And then we're good to go. Here is the volume. So now the only thing left is to plug the T9 here. Now putting the headphones. Okay, grabbing my guitar, and we're good to go. So let's do a quick check to make sure everything works properly. Seems to be okay. And so we are good to go. Time for the conclusion. So first, the price. I've mentioned something very interesting for you guys, which is the price range. So here, the U45 come at 260 euros and the T9 at 180 euros. If you guys are familiar with the prices of IEM systems, you will notice that it's very, very cheap compared to other monitoring systems. Of course, it's not like something you would use on big stages and with a lot of musicians on the stage. But for playing showcases of very small venues, if you're a 4-piece band, it's very enough. It's more than enough. So I would recommend this for younger bands starting out with not a lot of budget, but still wanting something very efficient. I would definitely go for it.